If your goal setting routine is the same as you used last year, you're most likely setting yourself up for a big disappointment. Goal setting is not enough. You need a system. It is actually pretty simple to have and create a system. So don't get fooled by the people out there that are telling you that having a system is super complex and super special. I'm sure that at some point in your life, you have done it in some area in your life. So I want to chat with you today about how to create a system that you can rinse and repeat to get to a whole new level. In this video, I want to dive into the big question, why is goal setting so 2023 and why creating a repeatable system is so 2024. I want to explain to you why having goals is just one piece of the bigger puzzle, how to create a system for an average person, and how you can create a system that works for you. All right, my friend, let's dive into it. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Julia Arndt, corporate employee turned productivity and well-being coach who helps individuals just like you create a perfect work-life balance and career success without burnout. And the first question that I want to dive with you into today is the question, so why is goal setting not enough? As a peak performance coach, I had the absolute pleasure to train over thousands of people and do a lot of different experiments on myself as well in order to find answers to the questions, how can I move the needle when it comes to goal setting, creating new habits, being successful, and at the end of the day, creating more space and time in my life by making more money in order to do the things that I really love to do. And the main insight that I gained from doing all of these different experiments and working with all of these different people is that goal setting is not enough. Because when you have a goal without a system, you have kind of just a goal, which is kind of more like a dream. And when you have a dream without actions, then you might have a few half-hearted attempts to get there, but over the pretty short period of time, you're going to fail and you're most likely even going to forget about your goal in the first place. So having a goal is not enough. So the next question that you're going to ask yourself is the question, well, do I need to have goals then in the first place? And the answer is yes. And you don't just need goals, you need SMART goals. And SMART is an acronym that was coined by 3 different guys in 1981 that wrote about SMART management objectives. And SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. And it is really, really important that you are checking, first of all, before you're even starting to set up the system, you need to have a bulletproof goal. And in that goal, you need to make sure that all of these 5 pieces are kind of checked on. So let me give you an example. If you, for example, have the goal to build more revenue in 2024, that's not a SMART goal. Let's say the goal that you would write down is, I want to make more money in 2024. There's a couple of things that are really not very specific, timely, realistic, measurable, and so on about this goal. So in order to be really successful and in order to set yourself up for measurable success, make sure that you are checking all of these 5 boxes. And you can already see here, I have the 2 templates in front of me because I'm going to share this with you if you want. You can download this and you have the link below in the show notes. But in this template, you will actually see how you can kind of check all of these different checkboxes in order to make sure that your goal is SMART. Let me give you a specific example. So what is a SMART goal? A SMART goal would be, I want to make $1 million in 2024 by creating more corporate employee programs and one-on-one coaching packages. That is a lot more specific, right? So now that you look at the 5 different categories, specific, yes, it is specific, right? What do I want to achieve? I want to make $1 million in 2024. Is it measurable? Yes, it is measurable because you want to make $1 million, so you can measure that success. Number 3 is attainable. How can I reach my goal? And that's in that goal as well, because we're saying, I want to create $1 million in revenue by building and creating more corporate employee programs and one-on-one coaching packages. Okay, so that's all kind of checked on. And then the last two boxes and the last two categories are, is it relevant and is it timely? Relevant, yes, this goal is important for me because I have been building this business for 5 years, for example. And so it is absolutely relevant and realistic for me to actually achieve this goal in 2024. And then finally, timely, when will I accomplish this goal? I will accomplish this goal by the end of 2024. So pretty simple, but let me tell you, I have set goals with many people in my trainings before, and it's not that simple. We kind of forget that we need to be really specific, and that's why we talk about SMART goals again. All right, so now that you have a bulletproof goal, you're probably asking yourself the question, all right, so what is a system in the first place? What do I need in order to create the system that I've been talking about for the last 5 minutes? I asked myself the exact same question when I started to see people talk about this process and this system. James Clear, for example, talks about it in his book Atomic Habits. A lot of YouTube creators are talking about systems at the moment. So I was really confused. I was like, what is the system? And the simple answer is the system is the process, so the step-by-step guide on how to achieve your actual goal. So it is the activities that you are taking to get from point A to point B. So a system is super important, obviously, because if you just have a goal, as you already learned, it's just a dream if you don't really have the activities and the actions in place in order to get there. All right. So now that you know what a system is, now that you know it's just the process and the activities in order to get you to the point that you want to get to, let's talk about how to create a system that works for you. So how can you create and set up a system for yourself? As I already said, it doesn't have to be difficult. It's actually pretty simple. And I think about it in 3 simple steps that I want to share with you. If you want to have something in front of you, like I have in front of me right now, you can download my system approach in the show notes below. And it basically takes you through an example guide of step-by-step what you need to do. And then it also has empty templates for you in order to start creating systems, and even put this piece of paper, for example, on your fridge in order to make sure that you're also seeing it on a regular basis. Honestly, at the end of the day, having a system in place is all about consistency, but we'll talk about that in the next step. So how do you set up a system? Step number 1, you create a SMART goal. We already talked about it. 5 different categories. Make sure that your goal is really SMART. Step number 2 then is to create smaller achievable milestones in order to get to that goal. So if we're staying with the same example that I already shared, so with our $1 million example in revenue for 2024, smaller achievable milestones might be that per month you want to make $83,333 in revenue in order to hit your larger goal of $1 million per year, or for 2024. So you're really just breaking your goal down. Let me give you a couple of other examples to make it super clear for you, because it really doesn't have to be hard. And again, you're going to find all of these different examples on the template as well. If you want to, for example, achieve a better work-life balance, you want to be healthier, you want to work out more, first of all, create a specific SMART goal. And if working out, let's say 5 times per week for 60 minutes by the end of 2024 is your new health goal, then your smaller achievable milestones might be that in the first quarter, you're only going to work out 1 time for 30 minutes. And then in the next quarter, you're going to work out 2 times for 45 minutes and so on, right? So you're breaking it down into smaller, more realistic, more timely goals that you can achieve in order also not only to create a space from point A to point B, but also to really set yourself up for success. Because if your goal is to have 5 workouts per week for an hour now, you're most likely going to fail because it's way too big of a goal. And so you need to create these more achievable steps in order to get there. All right, I hope that was clear. So now then we get really into the planning stage. So step number 3 is, okay, so what is my action plan in order to do that? And that could look like in really creating, again, kind of a goal that says every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for my revenue goal, I'm going to do business development calls with clients. Or with regards to our fitness goal, it could be every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm working out for 30 minutes in the first month. Pretty simple, right? So we have our SMART goal, we have achievable milestones, we have a specific action plan on when you are actually going to do it, for how long, what is the outcome of that. And now here comes the most important part, and part number 4, which is, well, when and how are you going to track your success? This is something, honestly, that's made the biggest difference in my life when I started working with my business coach, for example, because it is kind of this forcing mechanism and this accountability and commitment of, okay, every Monday at 8 a.m. in the morning, I actually have a block on my calendar that reminds me that I need to look at my success metrics and I need to track all of the progress that I've made over the last week. It holds me really accountable. Sometimes I don't want to do it, and then I sit down and I do it anyway, and then I have the realization, wow, I actually made so much progress. So this forcing mechanism as well, to hold yourself accountable to do the things that you set out to do, but also to celebrate the small wins and to celebrate all of the different milestones, to not get discouraged in the process, because that's what's happening so often when we are just setting these goals and then nothing is really happening, right? Or we forget about it. And having my business coach reminding me as well, also sometimes, that I need to fill out my success metric sheet is obviously that forcing mechanism when, for example, I might feel like I haven't had such a great week. So 4 simple steps, systems, that's all that it is about. Don't make it too complicated. Step number 1, SMART goal. Step number 2, create achievable milestones. Step number 3, have a specific action plan in place. And number 4, have a success metric tracker in order to track your progress. I highly encourage you, and I wrote that here in the template as well, to move that actually into a spreadsheet or into an Excel sheet in order to just have it week by week tracked by the types of milestones or the types of actions that you're setting out to do. And then you can obviously also give more details of what happened, what worked, what didn't work, and so on. So that is the system. It's pretty simple, right? Now, the last question that you might be asking yourself is the question, all right, Julia, so this is all pretty clear, but how can I make this work for me? And this is a really good question. And honestly, you need a little bit of a strategy, and you just received that strategy over the last 10 minutes in this video. You have your step-by-step guide, and strategy is about 30% of your success. And then it's all about self-discipline and consistency. And that makes about 70% of your success. So if you want to learn more about consistency and self-discipline, there's another video on my channel about that for you. And that's all I wanted to share with you. I appreciate you being here today, and I'll see you in the next one.